Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Saturday, July the 13th, 2019. I'm going to look at the stakes races on today's program from Saratoga, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and also check out my Meadowlands Pace preview video. And if you're interested in the European racing, some great races coming ahead today from Newmarket. Races from in Europe, and I have previews for that race, and I like a price in that race, so go check that out. And also tomorrow in France at Longchamp is the Grand Prix de Paris, a very good mile-and-a-half thrill turf race, and it's always some good horses come out of that race, so join me for my preview of that. But it's the third day of the Saratoga meeting. Great card here today. I did have full card selections up for the last 2 days from Saratoga, but today on Twitter I'm not going to do that because I'm looking at so many races across the world, so we'll be looking at a little bit of everything, just not solely Saratoga today, but we are looking at the stakes races, of course. How can we not? So we'll look at races 3 and 9. So let's get on to a third race from Saratoga. It's the Grade 3 Sanford Stakes. It's going for a purse of $150,000, race for 2-year-olds here. 5 horses, but 5 decent horses by the look of it, going the distance of ground of 1,200 meters with a distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the main track. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs, main track. My top selection here, I'm going to take the number 3 horse, Cuxina. Hopefully I said that right. I'm going to go 3-1-4-2 in the superfecta, 3-1-4-2 super. In the multis, I would go 3-1 for sure. Possibly put in the 4 horse Tomato Bill also, but we'll have to see how the ticket cost would go. But 3-1 definitely. But the top selection 3 horse, Cuxina, this 2-year-old colt by Northern Fleet. Mark Hassey trains. Tyler Gaffalione gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came 21st of June at Belmont, 5 furlongs off the turf in a main special weight for $80,000. And the horse won by a neck that day. He sat back early, he had a great turn of foot, and he went very nicely on a sloppy going. It wasn't a sealed going, but it was a harrowed going. But he still took off clear. It was a very nice victory for him that afternoon. Before that, he won 26th of May at Gulfstream, 4.5 in a main special weight, 64,000, and he finished second by length. And he was with the pace setters early on, had the lead for a split second, but then he just kind of got overtaken. He had a little inexperience that afternoon, but he still ran okay. He was a next start winner, but since the last run, he's had a decent workout under his belt. The 6 furlong trip should suit him even better, and he doesn't need the lead. He showed that, so I think that's going to be a good thing for him. Here at 8-5, I'll take him. The 1 horse memorable could also get a piece fit. This 2-year-old colt by Uncle Mo. Steve Asmussen trains. Johnny V gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came in the Tremont at Belmont, June the 7th, going 5.5, and he finished 5th by 9 lengths, and it's the 2-1 second choice. He just never got into it and weakened out of it. It wasn't the day to win, but his first outing ever at Churchill was very impressive, going 5 furlongs on the slop, main special weight 95,000. He won by 1.25, and he just took off clear. It was a very impressive run. He didn't show a lot in the Tremont, but I think coming here, his workout betters have been better now than it was before the Tremont. I think he's sitting on a good run, and at 6-1 I'll take him. John Velasquez has the record for most victories in this race. He hasn't won since 2015, but he's due for another victory here, so I'll use him here as a selection also. So to recap my selection for the third from Saratoga, it's the Grade 3 Sanford. Let's take the 3 horse Cuxina. I'll also give kudos to the 1 horse memorable, and we'll go 3-1-4-2 in the superfecta. The 9th race from the Spa, the feature race of the afternoon, and one of my favorite races of the meeting. The 9th race, it is the Grade 1 Diana Stakes. It's a Grade 1 event going for a purse $500,000, race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 6 horses going to the inner turf course this year. It's usually run in the middle of this race, but this year it's going to be run on the inner. The distance of ground of 1,800 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 1/8 on the inner turf course. 1 1/8, and like I say, I always show the diagram. Just gives me that little extra second to look down at my notes. Just bear with me. But like I said earlier, it's always run on the melon turf course, but this year they put it to the inner turf course, which kind of changes the race a little bit, because the inner turf course plays towards speed a lot more than the melon. But with that being said, I'm going to take a horse that's going to come from a little bit farther behind. That's going to be the 6 horse Homerique. I'm going to go 6-2-4-1 in the superfecta, 6-2-4-1 super. I think Sister Charlie's going to need a race here, so I'm actually not going to use her in the multis. But the top selection is 6 horse Homerique. This 4-year-old flea by Exchange, Rich Hat Brown trains. I'd rather choose Junior gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came 7th of June at Belmont, 1.25 in the Grade 2 New York, and the horse won by a neck. She sat back early from a wide poster, was very wide that day throughout the turns, but she had a great turn of foot late, and she won very nicely. Before that, her North America debut in the Fugue at Belmont, a mile 16th in her turf course, May the 11th. She won by half length. Again, a turf course that does not play towards closers. She sat back early, was wide, and she got the job done. Small margin, but she ran very well that day in her North America debut. And then she ran the 7th of October at Longchamp, a mile and a quarter on good to soft ground in the Group 1 Prix de l'Opera. She finished third by length. Wild Illusion is a very good Godolphin horse, won that day. And the second place finisher, Magic Wand's a very good O'Brien horse, but this horse, she was a little bit wide that day, and she just couldn't get that good turn of foot, but she was the best of the French-based horse in that race that afternoon, and then she ran the Prix de Moulin de Longchamp at Longchamp, 1 mile, September the 9th. She finished 7th by 5 and a quarter lengths against the boys that day. She just really didn't have a lot, and it wasn't her day to win. Keep in mind, third place finisher Expert Eye won next out and did well, shall we say. But before that, when she faced the filly, she did well last year. She won the Prix de Psyche at Longchamp at Deauville last summer, and she ran a decent third in the Prix de Diane at Chantilly, and she finished second in the Prix de Penelope at Saint Cloud. So she has some good races in France. Her races in North America have been great. She only wins by small margins at times, but I think today will be a good race for her. 5-2, I'll take her. So to recap my selections for the night from Saratoga, it's the Grade 1 Diane. Gonna go with the 6-horse Homerique as a top selection. We'll go 6-2-4-1 in the superfecta. I'll go 6-2 in the multis here in the Diana. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5.